This is going to be a political video. So I live in the United States, in the good old US of A, with our US red, white, and blue flags, our Eagles, our barbecues out during Super Bowl weekend.
I'm an American.
And in America, we have something, a little something, called a political system. And in this political system, we have two main parties, Democrat and Republican, elephant and donkey, red and blue. And in this political system, those are the only two that are super popular. If you can see where this video is going, then good on you. So with this two-party system, there's not much room for nuance. There's not much room for new ideas, and there's no room for other people to come in and voice their ideas and their opinions for how the country should be run. In 2016, in our past election, we had two third-party candidates who were semi-popular. Jill Stein of the Green Party, and I'm just gonna call the other one stereotypical white guy, or Bob. I think his name is actually Bob. He's a libertarian, which I am like kind of left-leaning libertarian, but he's...
What are the changes you would make to the educational system?
How would you improve the quality of education for all Americans?
We would abolish the Federal Department of Education.
In the 2016 election, we had two third-party candidates who were kind of popular, but only like, they didn't get really any votes. I don't think either of them broke past double digits. But in that election, we had two other people who no one liked. I'm gonna just call them Wingus and Dingus, because good God Almighty, it was bad. And then fast forward, election of Donald of the Don into our country, and then 4 years later, fast forward to 2016, and here we are, and now at the beginning of the year, we had this little thing. Well, the past year and a half, we've had this thing called the Democratic nomination. And this is when the Democrats come together and say, who is the best person to represent our values? Or, if you're the Democrats, let's take in 30 different parties and pick one guy who doesn't represent anything the people want and just put him in there because he is an old white dude. And, you know, that's perfect. I love living in the United States. This is just, I love this. I'm gone. In the beginning of the year, not even the beginning of the year, like, just the past year, there was like 30 different people in the Democratic nomination. There was liberals, there was strong Democrats, there was progressives, there was independents, there was socialists, there were Green Party members. It was bad. The Democratic Party just swelled up to encompass all these people because no one would take them in. Their party, it wasn't big enough to hold them. So they just had to jump somewhere where they would get their values spewed out and to get the people on their side. And then you had Mr. Gay Conservative, the Paradox, I call him. You have Mr. Paradox right here, who is gay and also kinda conservative, who then ruined his chances of being elected as the nominee by both not taking the death of a black man in his community seriously enough, and also the fact that he went to a cave, a wine cave, with rich people. You can't be doing this. You can't be a Democrat who's all about giving, helping people monetarily and go to a wine cave. Was it a wine cave? It probably wasn't a wine cave, but it was a rich white cave. That's all this is. I liked him. In the very beginning, I liked him, but as he slowly started to show his more conservative side, I slowly started to think, oh dear Lord, I can't just look. I can't say that you're gay anymore. I gotta say you're also hyper conservative in the skin of a liberal, and he ruined his chances. He dropped out of the race. Then you had It wasn't Gabbard. It was it Gabbard? I don't know. The woman who essentially was all about not letting gay people have rights. Yeah, I think that was her. Elizabeth Warren, who just from the very beginning, she was going in with high hopes. She just didn't make the cut. And then you had this sad runner-up. You had this man who just wanted to be elected once or get the nomination once, and now the Democrats can't let that happen. They gotta let the people who they know are safe in. I can't stand for this. Biden is not good. I know I'm saying straight facts, but Biden isn't good. People liked Biden because he was with Obama. People liked him because he had a black friend. That's the only reason he's the nominee now. That's the only reason. He cannot form a coherent sentence. He can't string together syllables and words to make a statement. He should not be the nominee. If anybody should be the nominee, it should have been Bernie. It should have been Bernie. It should have been Bernie. I didn't like Bernie at the beginning of all of this, but it should have been Bernie. So, that was 2020. Now, since I've just, spewed out the fact that the Democrats have taken in so many people and the fact that the hierarchy of the Democratic Party is broken, let us highlight the historical basis of my argument that we should just scrap the two-party system and let people just run under their own name. Just say, like, for example, from 2016, Donald Trump is going up against Hillary Clinton for the election. Not Republican Donald Trump is going up against Democrat Hillary Clinton. Let me explain. Let's go way back to 1776. And we fight the British, oh, we don't like being taxed. Now we're independent. Now we're free. And then George Washington has a few terms, and then by the end of it, he says, hey fam, don't use parties. Don't establish parties. Don't do it. And then here comes, who was it? Was it Jefferson and Hamilton? I think it was. I think. I'll fact check and post, but I think it was Jefferson and Hamilton. And then the party system is established. And then slowly but surely over time, not even slowly and surely, party lines are already drawn. People start using their party as a political shield. And that's history. But a prime example of how this doesn't work is the fact that in 1912, I believe it was, there was an election for president. And it was Democrat Woodrow Wilson versus Republican Herbert Hoover versus my man, the one, the only, the bull moose, Theodore Roosevelt, as a progressive. The party was called the Bull Moose Party, and he established it because the Republicans chose Hoover over him. He just went and made a third party, and they split the vote, and Wilson got the vote. And then, at that point, people start to wonder, you can just make a third party? And people started to make third parties. Socialist, communist. There was a Communist Party of America. And even further back, there was something called the Populist Party, which was a safe haven, I'll just call it a safe haven for parties that aren't popular. That's all it was. It was progressives, it was slowly but surely, it was essentially what the Democrats did this year. They took in too many parties and too many people. And it just swelled and swelled and swelled until it just exploded and collapsed. Oh my god. With the two-party system, it forces parties to take in bigger ideologies and more ideologies until it just swells, and then its whole basis of ideas and opinions gets lost in translation. And then you have what happened with FDR. There was a party switch. He brought social ideas to the Democrats, and at that moment, it all just went, and the ideas of the Democrats and Republicans just switched. And people act like it didn't happen when they start calling Democrats racist. But that's not true. And if the people say Harriet Tubman was a Republican, she was. But remember what Republican meant at the time. Lincoln was Republican. Teddy was Republican. Our definition of Republican now is the polar opposite of what Republican meant back then. Wow, what an idea. A party can change its ideas and run with them, and not be called and said, "Hey, you're still what you are over 100 years ago. You Democrat, you're still racist." Or if you're a Republican and you say that the Republican Party is a champion of modern civil rights. I'm just gonna that's the tea, sis, and that's all I gotta say about that. And then look today. Look back at George Washington saying that, you know, no parties, it'll separate America. The Populist Party swelling up to the point that it collapses because it takes in too many parties. The election of 1912, where Teddy Roosevelt goes and just makes his own party. Cut to 2020, where the Democratic Party starts taking in so many ideologies that during debates it's a muddled and confused mess. So in conclusion, down with the hierarchy, down with the two-party system. Let's run politics based off of ideas. Let's have no one hide behind their little flags. Let's have no one hide behind their ideologies. Let's make sure everyone voices their opinion unapologetically, and let's have discourse and debates based off of ideas and not political party lines. Wow, what a concept. I can't believe we've just started to see this, and it's 2020. Oh dear Lord. Anyway, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a new format for me. Tell me if you like it. I'll do more videos like this. Might not be politics based, but videos based off of stuff from my childhood and stuff I find interesting. I got studio lights. I got a green screen now. We're starting to up the production quality here on the official YouTube channel of
Axellent Entertainment.
See you next time. I've been
Axellent,
and I hope you learned something.